Okay, I know this is hard to do, but imagine living in a house where the air that's going through the house and out of the vents contains, can I say this, Stassi, fecal
Yes.
matter? Uh,
Fecal matter.
How does that happen? And how did you end up on this story? And please tell me this got resolved.
It was a tip that came into our tip line inbox, and of course I read it and I thought, what's the proof here? Reached out immediately. This was just before Thanksgiving, and it was hard because in these stories you want all of the documentation. You can never just say, there's fecal matter blowing throughout the house and blame a major, landlord throughout the country.
Right.
And so, when I went to do the interview, she kind of showed me all of the requests that she'd put in for repairs. She showed me the stains around the pipes in her garage that had been there for over a year. And the story is just, it is hard to watch. So prepare yourself.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look because I want to see where this thing goes.
Daddy, want to get the smaller books right here, AJ?
Tiarra Logan is a single mom,
Small books on the bottom.
packing up her 4 children again.
Put it sideways. I don't have family here. I left California to come here for safety.
She moved to Snellville, Georgia 3 years ago, she says, to leave behind generations of domestic violence.
It took me wanting to see something different for them. That's why I'm here.
She moved her family into a hotel just before Thanksgiving after finding out her HVAC unit was blowing fecal matter throughout her entire home.
I try to deal with it and just stick it out, but we shouldn't be living like this.
Tiarra says it started with the smell of sewage coming from the drains in her rental home in June 2024.
And I complained, I'm like, what's going on? What's that smell? And they told me, oh, just pour bleach down the drain. Everything's going to be fine.
Her landlord is a company called Star Borrower, along with the property manager Invitation Homes.
I called, I sent emails, and then they finally sent someone out.
According to maintenance records, Invitation Homes first sent a contractor to Tiarra's home in July 2024.
He came out, didn't realize we were on septic, so he looked at the sink. He's like, I don't see anything wrong. You're fine. And he left. Then it started backing up into the tub and into the toilet, and it was horrible.
She continued submitting maintenance requests.
These are pictures of like me and my children's skin. Like we would break out really bad. Come to find out there was sewage that got into our washing machine.
She says as her kids were constantly sick and missing school.
We've been in and out of the emergency room.
In October 2024, she says Invitation Homes sent another contractor who found a backup in the septic tank outside.
This is the condition of the septic. Our water flows through that.
While Invitation Homes told her they resolved the septic issue, she says the smell didn't stop and dark spots appeared around pipes in the garage right below their bathrooms.
Spots where the sewage water came through, like right there, all right there.
She showed us month after month of maintenance service records where Invitation Homes sent different contractors to her home for more than a year.
It looks like they're fixing things, but in all actuality, they're not fixing it.
In March 2025, Tiarra paid an attorney more than $600 to help her demand repairs.
The reason I kept paying my rent was because I didn't want my address exposed. With eviction being filed, your name can be searched and the address pops up.
But Tiarra says throughout her sewage nightmare, various fees appeared on her rent bill that she continually tried to fight. Atlanta News First Investigates found the fees included a charge listed in error for maintenance repairs that she had submitted, as well as insurance policies, even though she paid her renter's insurance independently. In April, they charged her rent twice in the same day, with a month-to-month rent fee. They corrected her rent and documented it as an error with her lease renewal. Tiarra says she called to fight the fees monthly, while racking up additional late fees. Invitation Homes' ledger of her rent shows they reversed some charges, but when she didn't pay the fees in July 2025, she received an eviction notice. Tiarra fought that eviction in Gwinnett County Magistrate Court, and a judge ordered her landlord to pay $6,000 and make the repairs.
They never paid. And it's been 2.5 months since that court hearing. And what they're saying is, well, we're just going to bill it to your account and basically give you credit for it.
In October, Invitation Homes applied the $6,000 to her account in rent. But due to safety concerns from her past and her address exposed, Tiarra says,
I could have used that to move, but I don't have the money to just come up with first and last.
in November, Invitation Homes sent her another contractor who discovered the original septic tank issue had spread sewage to her HVAC unit.
So basically we're blowing fecal vapors throughout the home the entire time.
The contractor's note in her rental portal noted a sewage backup due to septic tank clogging outside of home. He stated it smells like feces and the toilet overflowed Category 3 water, which dripped directly into the HVAC unit.
A lot of notes that were usually here are not there anymore.
Flood safety experts describe Category 3 water as highly contaminated, containing harmful pathogens, toxins, and other hazardous substances.
It's just frustrating because I can't give them a normal life because I don't want you guys to get sick. We're in and out of a hotel. Like, who wants to live like that?
When we asked Invitation Homes about Tiarra's case, a spokesperson told us, in part, we take the concerns raised by this resident seriously, have complied with court orders to date, and are actively working to resolve any outstanding issues.
My reaction is wow. That is tough to watch, but we get so many complaints about people who rent houses that are managed by property management companies. And this is one of those situations where I've heard that name before, Invitation Homes.
Yeah, and it's probably because they are the largest landlord for single-family homes in the United States. That's according to the FTC. And I read that in documentation from a lawsuit last year. So that would be, now 2024 in September. The FTC actually settled to pay $48 million for allegations, quote, of non-existent maintenance. That's what the FTC said. It included several things wrong with housing and not actually doing repairs. They actually said there were unacceptable and sometimes dangerous conditions, including flooding and sewage backing up in the home. They also were charged for unexplained junk fees, which is we kind of go through the fees that are on her ledger there, and we're not saying that those are all moot junk fees, but the FTC says that these fees pop up on people's ledgers and they have been found to be true. They are going to pay $48 million here in these coming years, but the issue doesn't seem to be resolved just because of this former suit. So we did reach out to the FTC and asked, here's this story, and is this case still ongoing? Is this something that would be part of that settlement? Would this renter have any recourse here? What happens? And we have actually not heard back from them for weeks. They said they were going to look into it. So of course we'll stay on that.
All right, so where does she go from here?
Yes, this was a hard story considering it was the holidays, and while I was at home for Christmas, thinking about her and her family in a hotel, I was hoping that she would get some viewers right away that wanted to put her into a home, but it took a little bit longer than that. She was in that hotel for several weeks. Her renter's insurance did step in and cover a couple weeks in the hotel, and they started talking to Invitation Homes, which could put a little bit more pressure on your landlord if your insurance company steps in. Invitation Homes, the day we aired this story, they did reach out to her, offering her two different options. They said, we will move you to another home and we'll give you $1,000 check. And the second one was, we'll let you break your lease and we'll apply credit to your account that is past due. And so for Tiarra, she said, how were those solutions? I ended up sending her story to a couple attorneys who do renters' rights law, which, as any renter who's tried to get an attorney knows, it is hard to get someone to pick up a case because there's just not a lot of profit in it for them. And the laws can be very complicated here in Georgia. There aren't defined laws of habitability and what a landlord must do. Her church has helped her get into a temporary apartment that she'll be moving into. She also, just on social media and YouTube, she's gotten a lot of support. People asking, can they help her? She's had clothes dropped off for the kids, some Christmas presents, and even a junk removal company, Junk Wrangler. They came to her house. They had seen the story and they said, we are not charging you. We are going to help you get all of this out of here. So the community has really stepped up in a big way. And now this just becomes a legal battle with her landlord.
I'll tell you what, great reporting, Stassi. Stay on it because there are so many stories, maybe not exactly like this, we hope, but there are so many of these stories out there. Good work, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for tuning into Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates. For more on this story, go to atlantanewsfirst.com and click on the ANF Investigates tab. You can listen to more award-winning investigations wherever you get your podcast by searching Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First. And tune in Sundays for an hour-long episode of Uncovered, where we highlight some of our biggest investigations that impact our communities.